I have a job at a nonprofit that completely fills my days, but I'm always searching for new programs for constituents and innovative ways to provide services. Most agree that innovation is important to adapt to a quickly changing world. But we often find it difficult to release innovative products or services. If we think of innovation as 3 I's, it can help us deliver our ideas. We'll talk about each of these I's in the next 5 minutes: inspiration, implementation, and iteration. The first I is inspiration. It's the sudden flash of brilliance that we feel will change the world, or at least lead to a donation. How many of you have had a great idea in the shower? Me too. It can feel like those ideas appear magically. In Jonah Lehrer's book, Imagine, which I do recommend despite the well-publicized innovations in his work, he says we have these shower epiphanies because it's the only time we completely relax. It's also the only time we don't have our phone at our hip. Stephen Johnson writes that these light bulb moments come from conscious and subconscious connections. You can create these connections in your own life by intentionally seeking new experiences, relationships, and knowledge. Steve Jobs designed the Pixar offices with these creative connections in mind. He put the bathrooms in the center of the vast building to force spontaneous interactions and hopefully inspiration across divisions. But inspiration is not enough. Have you ever seen a product that made you say, hey, that was my idea? Like adding wheels to suitcases. Lugging my grandparents' suitcase around on my first flight, I longed for wheels. But innovations are not usually the result of only inspiration. It also requires the next I, implementation. U.S. Luggage successfully produced the first wheeled suitcase by transferring time and money from existing products into a new patent, manufacturing process, and sales effort. They were already profitable, but still they invested resources into implementing their new idea. But your first try is never perfect. This is Gallopin' Gertie, a bridge that vibrated violently in high winds before collapsing. Like civil engineers learn lessons for future bridges from Gertie, we must learn from what we implement. The third I is iteration. It's rare that we generate an incredible idea, implement it flawlessly, and have it accepted without question. Instead, we implement, observe problems, refine, and produce a new, better version. Blogger Chris Brogan wrote that airplanes make course corrections as much as 90% of each flight, and yet we still land safely at our destination. How often our wheeled luggage makes it is a whole other story. But Brogan's point is that you can't give up when you make a mistake. Many of history's greatest inventors embraced failure. I love this quote attributed to Thomas Edison. If we think of failure as a learning experience, it's not so painful. It can be proof that you are trying new things that can make a big impact. The Wright brothers were a bit more smug about their success, but Wilbur Wright also attributed their success to an ability to build, accept failure, and iterate until they got it right. In his book, Little Bets, Peter Sims shows how breakthroughs often come from small innovations measured and reworked. It's not just grand inventions like the airplane. Little bets on new products, services, and even internal processes can lead to breakthrough discoveries. Iteration can be found right in the name of this famous product, WD-40. WD stands for water displacement, but the 40 stands for the 40th attempt by NASA to perfect a chemical solution for their rocket. So that's the 3 I's of innovation. What connects them all? Masking tape. Not really, but the masking tape story is helpful. In 1925, Dick Drew worked for 3M, then a sandpaper company. Drew noticed that car painters had no adhesive to mark the edge of different colors, but not rip off paint when removed. Drew implemented many versions, but couldn't make it work. His boss told him to stop trying, but Drew didn't quit. He spent his own time iterating his design until he made masking tape. By 1928, 3M sold more masking tape than sandpaper. So what's the lesson? The most important I in innovation is me. Only I can make space in my schedule away from email to experience new things, collaborate with others, and allow innovative ideas to bubble up. And only I can set aside time each week, like employees at 3M and Google, to work on new, risky products or services. And only I can embrace failure and be willing to measure results, refine the idea, and rework it to make it spectacular. So I leave you with this. Each of you can find your own inspiration, implement it, and iterate it to be the best it can be. Then come back next year and share your innovation with us. Thank you.